The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Daniel Jeremiah has answered the question that every Jet fan is debating. We will talk about that and much more. It's a Saturday. The NFL draft is 5 days away. And Gunny from NY Jets Situation Report is going to join the program. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. 5 days from right now, the NFL draft will be underway. Join me, Fireman Ed, and your favorite Asmaniacs at Clinton Hall in New York City, 16 West 36th Street, and come watch the draft with us. We're going to have special guests. We're going to have prizes. We're going to have drink specials. It's going to be a great night. Lock in your spot if you haven't done so already. The easiest way to do it is to just click the link that you see in the description for this show you're watching right here. Put your name in, your email in, boom, you're ready to roll for our draft watch party at Clinton Hall 5 days from right now in New York City. Joining us to talk all things New York Jets is one of our favorites. He is Gunny Gumby from NY Jets Situation Report. Gunny, happy Saturday, and the draft is almost upon us.
Hey, what's up, Jake? Happy Saturday, brother. Yeah, man. It's our favorite time of year. Just about here, right? Every single year for us, the last several years has been about the draft of the Jets. So it's like our Super Bowl, I guess you can say. It's the only time we get really excited. So we're due.
And really, with this draft, we've been talking about the same type of storylines for a while because it became pretty clear, I would say, after they signed Fields, and even then some of the comments from both Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji, that like the possibility of this team going quarterback early, it just doesn't feel like that's a thing. So the focus for a while has been tight end or offensive tackle, or hey, what if there's a wild card like Mason Graham or someone falls? Is that kind of where you're at in terms of the debate at 7 at this point?
Yeah, no, I think without question, it's going to be an offensive direction. I think the when you brought in Justin Fields, at this point right now, you're taking a flyer on the kid. You kind of want to know whether or not Justin Fields truly is an NFL quarterback, and the circumstances the last couple of years for him, a few years, have been what's kind of limited him. So you want to go ahead and get either the offensive line secured in front of him or another weapon added to that offensive room, the wide receiver room, tight end room, so we can go ahead and target. I think right now it's all about making sure the quarterback position is set. Whether it's this year, we do have the guy, or we're prepared for next year to go ahead and go draft the guy. So yeah, for me, it's been about tight end. It's been about the offensive line. I have my preference, obviously, but there is the rare situation where one of those blue chippers falls that you have to start wondering maybe the Jets go defense as well.
So Daniel Jeremiah, who I believe is one of the best, if not the best, NFL draft people out there, he did a conference call ahead of the NFL draft yesterday with a group of reporters, and they asked him on the call about the Jets and their options at pick 7. Antoine Staley transcribed the full answer from DJ on his X account, so I will pull that up so everyone can read along. So Antoine asked DJ specifically about the Jets at pick 7 and the debate we've been having for a while about tight end versus right tackle, and Daniel Jeremiah said, quote, they could kind of put the finishing piece on the offensive line with someone like Armand Membou. You would be comfortable with plugging him in at right tackle. He'd be very comfortable there. To me as a player and how you grade them, I would have both of those tight ends, Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren, over Membou. If they want to stay best available and stay true to the board, I would take Tyler Warren, and I wouldn't hesitate to pick Colston Loveland either. So interesting commentary here. Because for a while, we've been doing, hey, is it going to be Membou? Is it going to be Warren? But it's worth noting a lot of people around the league think that Colston Loveland might actually be the best tight end in this class. Jeremiah, in his top 10 players, I think 6 is Warren, 7 is Loveland, and Membou's a lot further down in his top players on the board. So what are your thoughts on this, that, hey, maybe it's not just Warren versus Membou, maybe it's Warren, Loveland, and Membou all in consideration now at pick 7?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little surprised at this in terms of his love for Loveland, pun intended. I think that when it boils down to it, I think Tyler Warren is tight end 1 in this class. This isn't just a guy that can go ahead and be an impact in the catching game. He can also be an inline blocker, right? You can go ahead and put him out there as the big. He's a nice route runner. He has high football IQ. I like Tyler Warren a lot for this team. In fact, that's the guy I want for this in this draft class in the first round, unless, of course, a guy like Abdul Carter drops. Don't see it happening. But if Abdul Carter drops, then you have no choice. You've got to go ahead and get Abdul Carter. But for me, Tyler Warren is the guy. I think that what it boils down to is you bring him in. He's a guy that's going to be a benefit to the tight end. Justin Fields likes the tight ends as well. You're making Justin Fields a little more comfortable. I think this season, man, should be predominantly about figuring out if we have a quarterback or if we don't. You bring in a guy like Tyler Warren. You've got Garrett Wilson. You've still got Brees Hall in the building. You brought in Reynolds. You're offering a semblance of a weapons package to really gauge whether the quarterback can play quarterback. I like Tyler Warren for that. I do. I understand if they go the Membou route, it makes sense as well to kind of round out the offensive line. You'll have freaking Olu on the left and you got Membou on the right. Makes a lot of sense. I was talking earlier in the chat. It's our own version of the Bash Bros. If you get those two guys in the building and your offensive line is complete. But in terms of analyzing what Justin Fields is this season, I think the pick should be a guy like Tyler Warren, who's more well-rounded. Now, I like Loveland. I do. But the guy is definitely lacking when it comes to blocking. His route running could use some polish. He's a guy that can go ahead and stretch the field a little bit. And we were talking before the show kicked off. He is more like a Brock Bowers light, right? Like he's a guy that can go ahead and give you a lot of that slot stuff, give the gimmicky stuff. Will it be a fun watch? Yes, I think he's clearly tight end 2 in this draft. But I'm pretty surprised that Daniel Jeremiah has him ahead of Tyler Warren in this case. So for me, it's Warren. If we had the draft today. But again, I would understand Membou. It makes sense as well. And the rare occurrence that a guy like Abdul Carter drops, then you have no choice but to go Carter.
That'd be a dream if Abdul Carter drops. I don't see any path where that happens.
I've seen a couple of mock drafts where he drops. I don't know what they're drinking or what they're smoking. I just don't see that happening in any situation.
I don't either, but hey, don't tease me with a good time.
Right?
Man, hit the like button if you're just tuning in. So today is the final show that you have a chance to enter this week's Asmaniac raffle. So $10 super chats for the day will get you 2 raffle entries. We will boost all $5 gifted memberships or 5 gifted memberships to 7. Same thing applies for $20 super chats. And then if you send in a $50 super chat or get 10 memberships, we're boosting it to 12 for the day. So a little membership boost on our final day to enter the raffle. If you're watching live here on a Saturday, sign Revis photo, sign Sauce Gardner jersey, sign Keyshawn Johnson helmet, sign Al Toon helmet, and a signed Ken O'Brien jersey. I've been asking all the guests this week on the show, Gunny, because the theme is Jets first-round picks for this week's Asmaniac raffle. In your lifetime as a Jet fan, which Jet is your favorite first-rounder that you've ever rooted for?
I mean, I got to be honest, man. It's Darrelle Revis. I think Darrelle Revis kind of like redefined what it means to play corner in the 21st century. Yeah. In my lifetime as a Jets fan, I enjoyed watching this dude just dominate and lock down entire sides of the field. Revis was fun, man. It was a fun time for us. He gave us an elite player to root about consistently. Revis Island was a phenomenon. So for me, it would have to be Darrelle Revis, man. It's the guy in my lifetime that I root for and still root for to this day. You know what I'm saying? As an individual.
And they traded up for Revis too, man. I mean, they had conviction. They got him. Yep. And for him to turn out the way he did, just unbelievable.
Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first member of the Asmaniac community to gift a membership is the Rick Kent. Instead of 5 entries for Rick today, it is actually 7.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
If you hear your name called, you thank the Rick Kent for gifting you your channel membership. And I would love to tell you who got Rick's memberships, but unfortunately, YouTube's doing that thing with a glitch. Here we go. Mark Franklin, Alan Avital, Adam is too cool, Ty and Sea Dog, all receiving a channel membership from the Rick Kent. Reminder, if anyone gives JQuest his membership, guess what? You get an item from the jakeasman.com merch store. So, Gunny, I want your take on the direction for the Jets if, say, they take Tyler Warren at 7. Your thoughts then on pick 42, your thoughts on pick 73. Like, what would be your plan to try and navigate the board? I'll put the Jets picks up on the screen for everyone to see. They're at 7, 42, and 73. These are three really, really important picks. Obviously, pick 7 speaks for itself, but 42, in my estimation, has to be a starting level player. And 73 should be someone that the bare minimum is contributing right away and perhaps is starting by the end of the season. So your thoughts on the plan to best navigate this draft, assuming they do what you want them to do and they take Tyler Warren at 7.
Yeah, so I think you take Tyler Warren at 7, right? The next logical step is going to be either to focus on the defensive line because you need to go ahead and get a big boy to help stop and slow down the run, or you add another wide receiver in this room because, let's be honest, the wide receiver room still leaves a lot to be lacking, and you kind of need a guy that can kind of go ahead and stretch the field. So one of the guys that I've looked at in terms of being able to stretch the field is a guy like an Isaiah Bond. I think Isaiah Bond, with his explosiveness and his ability to go ahead and stretch the field, might be a guy that comes in there and complements what Garrett does extremely well in terms of being that speedster. And I'm saying that because you bring in Tyler Warren, you got the big body guy that can go ahead and go up and get the ball. Another reason why I think a lot of us like Tet was because he's a big bodied guy that can complement Garrett Wilson and go up and get the ball. Tyler Warren, I think, would in essence take care of that for you, right? So if you're able to get your hands on a guy with some speed to him, like another one that I know a lot of us have been talking a lot about as well is a guy like Tez Johnson, right? If Tez Johnson is there, do you go and get Tez Johnson with that second pick? And you're really, really filling out your offense. Like I said before, I think the offensive component is going to be key in terms of gauging whether or not we have a guy at the quarterback position. So I've been really focused on how we can go ahead and manifest that and make that happen. So those are two names I'm looking at in the second round to go wide receiver. I think Tez Johnson, again, is a lot of people are terrified of his size, right, in terms of how light the guy is. But again, this is a guy who I think can really, really stretch the field, and it's a quick game. I like the guy. I do. His size is concerning. I get that. But in terms of compliment to our guy, Garrett Wilson, now you get the big body and Tyler Warren, I would look at that route. In terms of, you said the third round pick?
Yeah, essentially, if you're going to take, let's say, Warren at 7, you're talking about receiver at 42. Are you trying to find an offensive lineman at pick 73? You're looking at the defensive tackle there. How do you see the board playing the best value, the best approach?
Yeah, so for me, if we're going to the third round, listen, call me naive, but I'm liking Kenneth Grant, the defensive tackle out of Michigan. A big fatty, in the words of Green Bean, just a big fat body you can go ahead and bring in.
A lot of talk of big fatties this offseason for Jeff.
Hey, listen, I think the reason being is, one, Green Bean kind of coined that phrase, right? The majority of us are utilizing that because if you watch Green Bean, then you know. But the run game, man, that we've been beat up a lot in the run defense. It's been an embarrassment for us as Jets fans to see teams easily run on us the way they have. When you got teams like the Miami Dolphins and you got teams like freaking the Buffalo Bills who have used the run game extremely well to their advantage, we need to go ahead and find a way to slow those guys down. Drake May is no slouch either when it comes to being a mobile quarterback. So there's a lot of concern within our own division of being able to stop the run, which has been an issue for the Jets in times past. I really like Kenneth Grant. I would love to see him here as a Jet. Again, he's like 340 something pounds, 6'3". Another guy, Tyleek Williams out of Ohio State, another big bodied guy, 330 pounds, 6'3". I want a big bodied dude that's going to be able to just get in the middle of the field and stop the run. And with a guy like is it Tyreek or Tyleek? I always mess it up. I think it's Tyleek Williams. With a guy like him, you're also getting a guy that's a bit of an athlete too, right? He can go ahead and be a 3-down guy who can stop the run, and of course get after the passer. So I think it should go tight end, wide receiver, defensive tackle, in that order, because I believe that those defensive tackles are going to slide down the board a little bit, especially when you're talking about getting a big fat body in the middle, and that way you really impact figuring out whether or not Justin Fields is a quarterback. Like, can he actually play quarterback in the NFL? And if he can't, fine. We at least got some core pieces on the offense that's going to help us with our quarterback that we draft next year. And then you feel a major need in terms of a big body guy to help with slowing down the run, because that's been an embarrassment for us on the defense side of the football over the last couple of years.
Do you smell that, Gunny? You know what it smells like? It smells like gifted memberships. Adam is too cool has come through for the people.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Membership boost today. Final show till the raffle on Monday morning. Charles Leon, Orlando GNYJ, Jay Lepselter, Franklin Fung, Scott Foster, all receiving channel memberships there from Adam. And Adam, you're in the raffle for 7. With that, Jets Worldwide. What? We need another raffle gift on Jets Worldwide. So Jets Worldwide, you're in the raffle for 2. Good luck. Taps any button. Does this count as a membership for Buddy? It does not, but we do appreciate your support. I'm a believer that our defense needs help. I prefer top pick to go to defense. Graham, Starks, Carter. I can't take a safety at 7. Graham or Carter are the only players in consideration at 7. I'd prefer an offensive player over Graham personally. Carter, to me, I don't care. If he's there, run the card in. He's not going to be there at 7, though. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I don't think he will be either. But Carter, without question, to me, is one of those guys you look at and you're asking yourself what he's going to be at the next level. The questions really boil down to how many All-Pros and how many Pro Bowls will he have. That's really the conversation. The dude is
he's
built
the safest pick in the draft.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Without question. He's the guy you know is can't miss. Like, he's going to be a stud at the next level.
Well, the thing is, too, it's like Travis Hunter's awesome, but there is part of that. Well, do you trust the right coaching staff to take advantage of his greatness, right? He can play both sides of the ball. How do you determine where to play him? Like Abdul Carter, it's, hey, man, go line up and go hit the quarterback, and he's going to do that at a high level for 10 years in the league.
Yeah, and listen, a lot of people love Travis Hunter, man, and I get it. Like, he was fun to watch, you know what I'm saying, at Colorado. But I do have questions. I have concerns about Travis Hunter at the next level, right? The level of competition. I think for a guy like him, when he's easily the best athlete every single time he steps on the field, he's been able to go ahead and dominate and make some people look silly. I'll give him that. I do believe he's talented, but I'm actually more questioned on how he's going to play at the next level when everyone that steps on the field is as physically gifted as he is. So I'm curious to see how he turns out, but I would not want him if he dropped to number 7, if I'm being honest. Like, if he dropped him number 7, I know probably like, oh, you got to run up and go ahead and pick the guy. I'm like, I really don't know what he's going to be good at the next level.
Right.
And I'm concerned. I'm really concerned about it.
Oh, man. Hit the like button if you haven't already. We're talking with Gunny of NY Jet Situation Report. He's holding it down in H-Town since I left. Gunny, I miss you down there, man. I do.
I miss you too, bro. We miss you out here, dog, for real. The events haven't been the same without you.
I appreciate that. Ricky NY with a super chat. 7, Matthew Golden. 42, Tyleek Williams. 73, Ozzie Trapillo. 109, Terrence Ferguson. Slam dunk. Golden at 7, I think, would be very high for him, Ricky. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good player. I would think that if the Jets want Golden, they're going to try and trade out of 7 and then take him somewhere.
Yeah, I think 7 is way too high as well. And I'm not mistaken. Golden is the wide receiver out of Texas, right?
Yes, who's been comped to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I look at him and I look at Garrett, right? And again, I guess it sounds ridiculous to say out loud, oh, wow, you have 2 of the same type of guys. Garrett Wilson's a stud. We all love him. I think you need some balance. I just think you need some balance when it comes to that wide receiver room. A couple of guys who can both do the same thing. I feel like it starts to make you a little bit one-dimensional. I think a big-bodied guy or legitimately a speed guy, although I think Matthew Golden ran a sub 4.3 40, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's fast.
In the draft. He's fast. So I guess he could stretch the field as well too. At 7, I think that's high. I think at 7, that's high. I think the only wide receiver I'd actually be happy about at 7 is probably Tet. But even after he made his comments about, like, game film, you're like, man, come on, bro. Are we going to have a Kyler Murray situation here where we got to put it in your contract? You got to watch game film. So Tet made me hesitate a little bit when I heard that comment come out of his mouth. But I just love Tet's size and his route running ability. I think he's the clear number one wide receiver in this draft class. So that's the only guy I feel like at 7 would be an impact or compliment to the New York Jets at the wide receiver position. So yeah, Matthews, that's a little too high for me, man. At 7, I like the rest of the picks though.
Yeah, I'm 100% on board with some of the other players you mentioned.
Yeah.
I feel like Ozzie Trapillo has been mocked to the Jets by more Jet fans than maybe like any other player, like outside of like the first round guys we've spent so much time talking about. Like I'm not gonna count like Warren or Membou or like Graham because like we've done that
pretty obvious
first round, but like when people like dig a little deeper and do like 3-round mock, I think the two players I've seen connected to the Jets, not by the Jets themselves, but by us as Jet fans, has definitely been Ozzie Trapillo. And then if they don't take Warren at 7, basically every Jet fan has them taking Mason Taylor at pick 42 in round 2.
I mean, Mason Taylor, I wouldn't be mad at it. I don't think you could really.
I think it might be a good pick. Yeah,
I think he'd be a good pick as well. It all depends on what you do with that. I mean, if we're going Membou and then you still get Mason Taylor in the second, I think that's a win, right? I think that any one of us who are looking at trying to figure out what that quarterback, again, it all goes back to whether or not we have a quarterback. Mason Taylor can do that for you. You add Membou as well. That's pretty much a win-win in both situations. But I'm looking to get like high impact guys. I just think Tyler Warren's going to be really good at the next level, man. I like his game a lot. I like the way he operates, not just on the field, but the way he carries himself. The football IQ is clearly there as well. Those are the kind of guys who can not only make themselves better, but the players around them better. And our tight end room right now is pretty barren. So yeah, I think Tyler Warren, it's an addition that's not just going to be an impact guy on the field, but also in that tight end locker room. Like that's going to be a benefit to the other guys in the locker room.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Ricky NY says, Jake, I'm smoking a big fatty right now. Well, Ricky, that's on brand, man, because anytime Gunny's the guest on the show, we know Ricky NY always brings it, like this time over the summer. Hey, there we go. Light it up, Ricky. Yeah, let's get back to your calls right now. One of our favorites is on the Gustbuster hotline. Ricky NY joins us now. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, Jake.
Hey, Ricky, how you doing?
Thanks for taking my call, Jake. I just finished smoking all the available weed in the panhandle, so bear with me if I collapse here in front of my personalized flag. Any chance you could send that boxing guy, Gary, to the Jameis Winston town? Maybe Gator can build a special hall for quarterbacks who throw more interceptions than completed passes. Well, not a Florida guy, but can go to Seminoles all the way there. They've got a whole lot. Let's get all of them in there. I don't give a shit. Well, I think I got to relight this thing. Hold on a second. I just got this new blowtorch lighter. Let's try it out. Try it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Should have backed off that setting a bit. Anyway, Jake, I'll hang up for now and grab the burn kit again. Later, brother.
Oh, my God.
Yo, Gator is different, man. That dude is different.
Amazing. Ricky always bringing it when Gunny's on the show, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, man. I just like how he's able to go ahead and do that like live. I just wish I had that kind of editing ability or whatever he's doing to do that live.
Unreal. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm smelling a lot of memberships today. So before anyone gifts more, give everyone a chance to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure they have in their settings that they want to be able to receive a gifted membership, because I'm going to be sounding the alarms a lot today. Rasta Dread 305, Purple Belt Mike, you're a member, Bill Farm, Fly Right, Jimbo, and Yeti all receiving a channel membership. Today, a gifted membership of 5 is worth 7. A gifted membership of 10 is actually worth 12 for the Asmaniac raffle. Mike Dems, you're in the raffle for 1 as well. Thank you very much. All right, super chat here from Sam. Travis is one of the highest football IQ out there. Fishing, football, film study, and recovery. What other questions would you have? So this is in regards to Travis Hunter. Your thoughts?
Yeah, listen, I'm not saying the kid's a bad football player. I think he's put a lot of interesting stuff on tape, right? But the guy played cornerback and wide receiver both ways. I get a lot of people think that means he's a home run or can't miss kind of candidate, but he was always the most talented physically player on the field in Colorado. The competition level wasn't really the high in their conference. They beat up on a lot of freaking teams, right? I'm saying when he steps on the field and he's playing against other individuals who are as gifted physically, what are we going to get? And I think that's the big question. So he might show up and he might knock it out of the park. I don't think he's worth the risk for the New York Jets. I have more questions for him than answers because I don't know what that's going to look like against other quality football players that are just as gifted physically. So for me, the whole playing both ways thing, man, I don't know. It really made me wonder how is he really being challenged, really? If he's able to play both ways in the game, both ways in the game, right? And still dominate the players he's playing against. So that's just my thoughts on it, man. I could be 100% wrong. I don't want to take the chance as the Jets to figure out whether or not he's a stud or not. I'm going to watch him though on another team though.
PBM writes in, give this one to AJF. Let's send him home with a raffle. Went $10 super chats or two. But Mike, since you're a good man, fine. I will give this one to AJF. I will make an exception. I also want to say this to Mike. He wrote in the chat about a minute ago that he scored with his wife last night. So, Mike, congrats on the sex.
Hey, congrats on the sex.
Very happy for PBM. He's doing it all. Also, shout out to Beastbreaker. He says, good morning, Jake. I got my Wendy's. Your thoughts on Beastbreaker getting his Wendy's for breakfast today, Gunny?
Wendy's is delicious, man. They actually have a really good breakfast menu. I haven't had it in a while, but do they still have those little tater tots they're called?
You know, the last time I had Wendy's breakfast was at the Hobby Airport in Houston.
Boom. So it's been over a year for you.
Well, you know what? I went to visit during rodeo seasons. That was
I got you. Okay, so it was recently.
It was a good time.
Wendy's breakfast is actually pretty good. Don't sleep on Wendy's breakfast. It's actually pretty good.
Ladies and gentlemen, you guys want to see something incredible? Look at this big, sexy animal.
Right now, we're getting some gabagool. If you really want some gabagool, you got to come get the gabagool. Catch you later.
Man's breakfast is a man's choice. Anybody who loves Wendy's, you gotta love it, baby. Nah, really dig it. You said, Jake, you went to Wendy's when, a year ago?
No, a couple months ago, Beast.
Wendy's is number one in my book when it comes to the Baconator, and last but not least, their sausage and biscuit can't be beat. Burger King and Mickey D's don't got nothing on this, Jack. So put that in the bank and smoke it. You know what? I look way better than Bobby today, especially, you know what? I got the music to do it, you know. Hey, put that music on that one that Bobby was dancing to. Doink, doink, boink, 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 boink. Time to get some water. Get another call. I'm gonna go get me my water right now. It's water time.
Hey, Gator, you're welcome.
Would you silence, or should I do one of these?
Your thoughts on what you just witnessed, Gunny?
Yeah, listen, enthusiasm. He's got me wanting to go ahead and try. You know, I've actually never had the Wendy's breakfast sausage sandwich. I've had their Baconator, which is delicious. So now I feel like I got to go ahead and try that. But I'm seeing the Chick-fil-A breakfast pop up. I've definitely been crushing some Chick-fil-A breakfasts. They're delicious. But you know what? Out of respect, he's got me wanting to go ahead and try at least that sausage biscuit from Wendy's. So I'm going to have to give that one a whirl.
Rick Kent says, I did not need to see that. My breakfast is now repeating on me. Look, you might not need, maybe you didn't want to see it, Rick, but deep down you needed to see that. Let's see. JT Gator's already in the lab. Rich Cuddy's like, what the heck? Mimosa says, put a shirt on. Dave Brigga says, Beast, did you get Grubhub delivery for breakfast? You need to get your shirt on. Nick Shine says, WTF am I seeing?
I see.
David says, won't live past 50. I don't know about that. Oregon says he's eating himself to death. Also, I do think we need to run it up the poll. Nick Shine says Bobby's boobs are greater than Beast boobs. I will run that up the poll. Which caller of ours has the better man bosoms? That poll will be live shortly. Yep, give me a moment here. What a Saturday show, huh?
Yeah, the production value you bring to the table, Jake, it's second to none, bro.
It's all Gator.
Literally second to none.
All Gator. Comments, questions, super chats for Gunny. Anything on the draft? Anything Jet related? This is the first time I've had you on, Gunny, since Justin Fields was the move the Jets made at quarterback. Yeah. What are your expectations for Fields? Were you on board with that signing? How do you feel about it now, about a month and a half later?
Yeah, no, I was very much on board with that signing. I think Justin Fields, gives the New York Jets the best chance this season of any kind of exciting football. This is a guy who I think people sleep on because, yes, his numbers haven't been spectacular in terms of his passing stats. But if you look at him from when he came into the league and into what he's accomplished up until last year with the Steelers, the dude's improved every single season, in passing-wise. Passing stats-wise, he's improved with accuracy, with his TD to interception ratio, yards per attempt. Like, everything has improved every single year. Not to mention, he brings to the table an elite trait in his mobility. Like, the guy is a elite scrambler. And whenever you have an elite trait, with a quarterback, I think you're in a position to try to maximize that. You really can't be upset about it. I didn't think there was a better option than Justin Fields. I think there were safer options than Justin Fields. But in terms of what he could potentially be, if in fact our coaching staff is the right group, and the way he's been kind of like dealt with the Chicago situation, I think he didn't have a lot of help. That was crazy. Last year he showed promise, but they quit on him a little early for Russell Wilson. Maybe this is the year he puts it all together and he comes out. If he comes out and he's a baller, well, guess what, Jets fans? We've got a 26-year-old guy that's an elite scrambler at the quarterback position coming into the building to play football for us. I think that's a good thing. If he's not the guy, well, next year we draft early and we're able to go ahead and go get a franchise guy, and I think a draft class that has more options for potential franchise QB. So for me, I thought it was a win-win situation. I think Justin Fields might surprise a lot of people, and it sounds like the coaching staff is trying to build an offense around his skill sets, which is something that's different for us. We've usually heard from our coaching staff that we're going to be a ground and pound team, or Aaron Rodgers can do what he wants, right? So I think this, when you're hearing they're going to build the offense around the talent in the building, says a lot. So we'll know. I think Justin Fields could surprise us, but it also wouldn't shock me if next year we're picking in the top 5 and we go get our quarterback of the future there too.
What are your thoughts on like the expectations for Fields? Like, in your opinion, what does he have to do this season with the Jets to be the guy beyond this year, be the starter for 2026?
Honestly, man, I think he has to go ahead and continue on what he left off doing with the Steelers last year, right? But of course, add a little bit more dynamic to his game. He didn't throw the ball deep last year. A lot of his throws were safe throws. He didn't attack that down the field. Not sure if that was the game plan for him, or he just felt like he was going to be more, I don't know, restrictive, so he didn't lose his job because he knew Russell Wilson was right behind him. We need to go ahead and see Justin Fields take some shots down the field, and they have to connect. The good news is he's got Garrett Wilson in the building with him right now, somebody he's got rapport with. A lot of people think that doesn't matter. I think it does. I think when you have those guys that have that history together coming into the building, that can go a long way to seeing some big plays. But in all actuality, a lot of people are saying stats. Get us a playoff win. I think Justin Fields, to secure himself to be the guy, got to get us a playoff win. And I'm not saying like get us a playoff
making
win.
The playoffs, he might be the starter for next year.
True, but if we make the playoffs, he has to be a big reason why we make the playoffs. But if we win a playoff game, he has to be a contributor, obviously. But I think it kind of differentiates in terms of his contribution. If we make the playoffs and he's like putting this team on his back to win us 1-2 games at a season, like without him we would have lost. Then yeah, you got to take into consideration like keeping him on board. But I'm going to be realistic here. I think our franchise QB is in next year's draft. I do. I think our long-term answer is in next year's draft. Although I do think that Justin Fields can surprise us. I'm not willing to gamble because it's the Jets. So because it's us, I'm just not willing to gamble that we have the guy and that they're going to be able to be the one that figures him out after two other franchises have moved on from him.
Sam checks in with a $10 super chat. Sam, you're on the raffle for 2 with this. Thanks for supporting the show. Jermaine Johnson's coming off an injury. Do you see us picking a defensive end? Which ends do you like in this draft? I do see them drafting a defensive end at some point. It could be early. Like, I'm not going to say it's in round 1 or necessarily round 2, but could be in round 3. I also think, as people have brought up, if they do move back, then a defensive end comes into play in round 1.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think Jermaine's going to come back and he's going to go ahead and be his old self. If I had to pick, I think maybe a guy like a Mike Green might be in the mix. You know what I'm saying? In the 4th, maybe even in the 3rd, if they decide to bypass going a big body defensive tackle. I think he should be there. This is the guy who has that explosive burst, the kind of you want to see when it comes to your edge players. And I think around round 3, round 4 is when he's going to start seeing some action. And it wouldn't surprise me if I think it's what's his name, Landon Jackson. He plays for Arkansas. I'm having a brain fart now. He plays for Arkansas. I want to say it's Landon Jackson. I could see him being somebody that they look at as well to complement. Now, this is if we're going to go ahead and wind up doing the 3-4 scheme that a lot of people think that we're looking to do. He's also an impact guy in the run game. So I think he could be somebody you see drafted up later in a later round. But for me, I think Jermaine Johnson is going to be just fine. I think he's coming in there. You're seeing him working out now. The guy's been antsy and anxious to get back out there. We are really surprised about what McDonald did. So his development was also a nice surprise for us as Jets fans. So I think Jermaine Johnson is going to come off an injury and do well. And I also see us picking up a defensive end later on in the draft.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. The poll is officially live. Which Asmaniac has better man bosoms? Beastbreaker, who flashed his earlier, or, of course, Bobby Midnight, who hasn't called the show in a couple of days, but we know what he brings when he calls in. Let's see. This one is from Beastbreaker, who says, having a shaved chest and a shaved off body hair is sexy, and I dig it too. All the sissies on here, you got no heart and no balls. Gunny, your thoughts?
Having a shaved chest and shaved off body hair is, I mean, to each their own, right? To each their own. I guess everybody's got their own thing. Maybe for some of us, that's not it. I wouldn't go as far as calling anyone that disagrees that a sissy or no heart or no balls. I mean, I have chest hair. My wife likes it, so I don't shave it. But yeah, I'm going to go to each their own on this one. To each their own.
Scott Foster says, Beast, you need to shave your diet. No, that's a take right there. Scott also wrote in, when will March Madness of Man-boob start? Yeah, Asmaniac Madness Man-boobs is coming next week to get us set for the draft. Let's see. Ricky is referring to Beastbreaker as Baconator 666. Ricky and why from Top Rope today. Jeez. Let me you know what? I know what a lot of people need, right? We're excited for football, but we still got ways to go. Why don't I give people the most accurate representation of what I believe a Fields to Garrett Wilson drop back pass will look like? And to do that, there's one guy we got to bring on to break it all down.
Green, you ready in motion? Green, 46, Green, 46, drop back, set that, hi. Yeah, baby, touchdown, Chico. Ah!
Beastbreaker 666, he's the man who would kick your ass, and then he's gobble-goo.
Love it, Beast. Now that is what I'm expecting to see a lot at MetLife this year.
So much energy, man. So much energy. I think that's the key there, right? A lot of enthusiasm and energy coming to MetLife this season, and that was perfectly portrayed by Beastbreaker. Perfectly portrayed.
Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want energy, there's no one that brings us more energy other than this guy who's on the line.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit. Hi, Jake and Gunny.
Hey, what's up, David?
I'll tell you what, the Beast Breaker, I always would think the ladies are looking at him saying, you know, he's too sexy for his shirt. Today he's trying to prove it. And I also still think him and Bobby are closet retired Chippendale dancers.
Let me ask you this, David. Who'd you vote for in the Better Man Boobs poll?
Well, I didn't vote yet. When I get on, on screen, I don't have the chat underneath me or the voting thing. I don't know how to get to that. But when we're done, I will vote. Who did I vote for? Who am I gonna vote for? Oh, Jesus. I don't know. I don't know. I will vote for somebody though for fun, but I don't know. You know, I'm not used to checking out guys' boobs to see whose are nicer. You know. So, but anyway, getting back to the Jets. But you know, Jake, your show is so great. Gunny, he's one of the best, and I love listening to you guys analyzing for the draft and everything. And the neat thing about your show is you let us novice people have our opinion. So I know you guys are going to have a great time at the draft party. But for me, and like you said, that really good player is probably not going to drop to 7. But it for me, it's all about Tyler Warren. And I mean, I'm thinking here, you know, Justin Fields is a stud, Warren's a stud, and you know, you got Wilson at receiver, and you know, I'm just trying to think, boy, they might be able to put something together, you know. And the other thing is, I don't know if you guys agree, but in the later rounds, you know, would take a shot at a quarterback. The kid from is it McGregor from Syracuse?
Kyle McCord.
McCord. I'm sorry. I don't know why he hits my fancy, but your opinion on that?
I like McCord. I wouldn't take him until the 4th round on. I think the Jets got to come away with impact players in the 2nd and 3rd round. So the earliest I would take a quarterback like McCord, who I like. I do think there's some talent there. Would be day 3.
Yeah, I'm talking, you know, taking a shot in the later rounds. So, but that's all I got.
David, you are the man, and thank you for bringing the energy.
Thank you. I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Now, Gunny, when I invited you on the show today, did you think you'd have to break down the better man boobs between Bobby and Beast?
I didn't prepare for that, man. I didn't actually have the data in front of me. But I have come to my conclusion as to which it is. But no, I was not expecting to have to be a judge in the best man boobs, the Jake Asman show.
Mike D's not just weighed in, Bobby in a landslide. Also, I want everyone to picture Kick Lowski saying this in his voice. Quote, I'm a titty man. I don't look at men titties.
King Lowski.
Oh, man. Rich says, smash the like. Yeah, baby. Mike Dem says, next poll, David T's Fireball intake versus Beast Wendy's intake. Snowball wants everyone to know that he can see his own boobs, so that's good to know. Gunny's got a question Blitz BK has got a question for you, Gunny. He says, Gunny, who do you think we take at 7, and what is your record prediction? Also, everyone go check out my album, Full On Blitz, dropping tomorrow on April 20th. Hell yeah, Blitz. All right, Gunny, your thoughts, pick at 7, and then what is the record of the 2025 New York Jets?
Blitz, what's good, brother? Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. All right, so I think the pick at 7 is I really believe when it's all boils down to is going to be Tyler Warren. I think Tyler Warren is the guy at number 7. I think he's going to be the available player there. I think Membou might be there as well. They're going to look at these two guys, but ultimately they're going to go away with the guy who they believe can add to the arsenal for gauging what the quarterback can do. Never forget, Justin Fields is a very mobile quarterback. You've got to 4 out of the 5 linemen pretty much set on your team, and they rated as a top 10 unit last year. So again, getting a guy on that right side is important. I do believe it's important. I think I'm going to take a swing on somebody probably later on in the draft. But for me, I think that Tyler Warren can provide immediate impact to a tight end room that's very, very much depleted. Like there's really nobody in that tight end room that you look at and you're like, oh man, that's someone to worry about. So for me, it's Tyler Warren. Now, in terms of records, I think it's going to go one of two ways. If everything works out well, if the coaching staff is who we think they are, I think they've put together a nice rounded out coaching staff that shows potential, right? And they're taking the kind of swings we expect them to take. I think the Jets can win 9 games. They could potentially sneak in and win 10. I think they can win 9 to 10 games this season if things go as we're seeing it right now. I'm like, all right, cool, and they have a good draft, obviously. But I can also see this team on the opposite end, where things don't work out the way we're anticipating. And the reality of it hits, we got a defensive-minded head coach, and it's kind of a bit of a repetition of what we've seen in the past. You know, not keeping Aaron Rodgers comes back to bite us in the butt, like all this stuff going the opposite direction, and then just winning 4 games. So I got the worst-case scenario 4 to 5, but I got the best-case scenario if everything goes right, 9 to 10. I know that's not really an answer, but that's where I'm at.
I like it. Gator wants to know if you included preseason and inter-squad games in that record.
No, Gator. Unfortunately, I did not.
Gunny, you are the man. Appreciate you hopping on. Happy birthday to your daughter. A big birthday
Appreciate
party
you,
today. So appreciate you stopping by our show before you have a big day, big weekend ahead.
Yeah, man. Always a pleasure to hop it up with you, man, and just chop it up, man. Thanks for having me. It's been too long. Let's do it again soon.
Absolutely. Everyone go subscribe to Gunny's channel, NY Jet Situation Report. You see him with Green Bean every week. He's been on this show. He's been on his own channel. He does a great job talking Jets, and he's an all-around great guy and great man-boob evaluator, as we've learned as well during this conversation today. Phantom Green and White wants to know, does Beastbreaker feed little Joey with his man boobs? Beast, do you feed little Joey with your man boobs? This is from Phantom Green and White. Beast? Beast? You studying the film, Beast?
Hey, everybody. How you guys doing? I'm doing all right. I'm just trying to contact my sister. My sister's not home. I know she's kind of busy, but I'm doing fine. Everything's good. Everything's handy. But it's Saturday, and I want to say to everybody, have a great, happy Easter. And remember, the Lord is giving us everything we need. Jets football, great life, and good food. And anybody don't like it, take it to the bank, courtesy of the $1 Million Man.
Up in the attic where the beams creak low, Beastbreaker's heart is a steady glow. Little Joey perched up high with pride, taking a spin on a piggyback ride. Beastbreaker laughs, his joy ain't small, loves his pizza, loves gabagool, all in all. Little Joey squeaking, they roam so wide, living the dream on a piggyback ride. The floorboards groan beneath his feet, but it's pure love that can't be beat. Little Joey's fur glows in the dim attic light, holding on tight through the moonlit night. Beastbreaker laughs, his joy ain't small, loves his pizza, loves gabagool, all in all. Little Joey squeaking, they roam so wide, living the dream on a piggyback ride.
Yeah, baby. More of your calls right now. Kyle Clifton is up next. Hello, Kyle.
Quite a show today, Jake. You know, you have a rare a spliff for Ricky. You got a hairless, shirtless Beast. You've got David T referencing Right Said Fred. A lot of stuff going on today.
Yeah, a lot has happened already. We're only 49 minutes in.
Yeah. So I think that was a pretty good poll by Gunny with Landon Jackson. We know that Glenn likes the bigger defensive ends, and you don't get much bigger than Landon Jackson. I think he goes 280. So he might be there in the second round. He's someone to look for. Um, you know, I put in the Patreon the other day, some comparisons of where some of these analysts have Colston Loveland and Warren. And this has been something I've been thinking about.
Uh-oh, what happened to the Kyle Clifton audio? Clifton, no. Someone called him. If you call him from the phone, just FYI to people, put your phone on Do Not Disturb before your call. And that way, if someone calls you or texts you, it won't distort your audio. We'll go back to Kyle in a moment when he resets the StreamYard. But right now, we got PBM on the line. Hello, Mike.
Yo, what's up, Jake?
How are you, Mike?
Yo, what a beautiful day, man. I'm doing a lot of yard work out here.
Now, what does yard work entail? You doing a little raking?
Well, yeah. So I'll show you real quick. So I did this last week. See how nice this looks?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Right? And then all of that. So now
what's it like to have a yard? It's a feeling I don't know living in New York City.
Yeah. It's good. So see how shitty this looks? I'm gonna rip all this out and then mulch and make this all nice. That's my project I'm gonna do by the end of the day.
Now, where's your green pool? Are you gonna jump into it again?
That's right here. I'm probably gonna open it in the next couple weeks, maybe the first week of May.
Do you think that the Jet season was cursed after you jumped in the green pool last summer?
Maybe. I'm not doing that again. I got to do something different because that clearly didn't work. But anyway, I was listening to earlier today the Rich Cimini with the 4 draft picks, and then he was talking about whatever. I think what the Jets are going to do based on like his intel, I think they're going to trade back and they're going to get Kelvin Banks, the other tackle. And then they'll have an extra second round pick. So the 2 second round picks and a third round pick, they'll get a tight end, a wide receiver, and a defensive tackle based off of that. And they said this Kelvin Banks kid is really good and he can play left tackle and right tackle. And apparently Glenn likes the versatility guys. So I want to know your thoughts on that if that's realistic. But according to Rich Cimini, that's like really, really realistic. But who knows?
I don't think the Jets are going to be able to find a legitimate trade partner at 7. I hope.
Oh, he
I'm
was
wrong.
saying for Shador. So they would get the draft pick because someone's going to move up for Shador.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know if Shador is even going to be a player teams will move up for. Like, who's moving up for him if he's there at 7? Like, maybe New Orleans, or could they just wait to take him at 9? And I think there's some rumblings they might like Jackson Dart better than Shador Sanders anyway.
Interesting. All right, man. Cool. Wait, what about Kelvin Banks? Do you like Kelvin Banks?
I do like
never even
Kelvin
heard
Banks.
of this guy until today.
Well, I don't know why
Honestly.
Kelvin Banks doesn't get talked more about. Like, he played in the
I never
SEC.
heard of him until today, honestly. I don't even know a thing about him.
He played at Texas. He could play multiple positions on the offensive line. I think he's good. It surprises me.
Is he a big guy? Is he like or is he just?
Let's see. Kelvin Banks is, 6'4", 320 pounds.
Oh yeah, so he is a big boy.
Yeah, he started
like
13 games at left tackle in 2022, 13 games at left tackle in 2023. Started all year this year. Like, you want to take a safe pick on the offensive line? I think Banks is a very safe pick.
Yeah, so maybe that's our guy. Maybe the whole Membou stuff and whatever, that's not what's going to happen.
He could be the guy in a trade back.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's what happens. If he is,
I hope
man,
they trade
he works
back.
out.
To me, trading back and getting more picks, that's a win, depending on what they then do after that. But, I would love the idea of just getting more picks in the top 70 of this draft.
Yeah, for sure. Yep, I agree.
Well, Mike, I'll tell you what. You have a hell of a day, all right?
Let's fucking go Knicks, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go Knicks. I'll be at the Garden tonight. Can't wait. Kyle Clifton's back with us. Kyle, how are you?
I don't know. My wife just busted through Do Not Disturb. That must not apply to her.
Wow. She has the passcode.
Yes. Yeah. So I was saying, between Colston and Loveland, if there's no wideouts and there's no tight ends, and if it's between wideouts and tight ends in this draft, you take the best tight end. That's the best weapon available. We need players at both positions. They're right there for us to take. Our choice at number 7. Grab the guy who fits your system, and then just let whoever's going to fall come to you at 42. There are going to be guys that are taking quarterbacks. There are going to be guys that take other positions that we are just simply not going to need there at 42. And we have so many needs. We should be able to get a good player at 42 that's going to be part of Glenn's vision. So and maybe that's Landon Jackson. Maybe that's, I think it's a little early for a DT. I think that Gunny was kind of on track there. You might even be able to get someone like Joshua Farmer at 109, 110, wherever the Jets are. We could probably wait on that for the depth, the rotational depth at defensive tackle, but there's going to be guys that we can get at 42 and maybe even 73 that can come in and contribute for us right away. I appreciate your time, Jake.
Kyle, always appreciate you. I agree with you. I'm very interested to see the approach from Muji and Glenn. Best player available, but it's also best player available, yes, but how do you navigate the draft board to get value? Because to me, the draft is not always about picking the best players, because there's a thing called team building. You want the best players at positions of need. And if you know you could get a really good player in the second round that plays the same position as someone you're considering in the first round, isn't it better to maybe take a different position in round one if the grades are close? The Eagles don't just do best player available. They play the board. That's kind of been my thing. Play the damn board. Reminder, last show of the week in all likelihood. So if you want in on the Asmaniac raffle, gift the membership, and it's boosted today. So 5 is 7, 10 is 12. Same thing applies for Super Chats. $10 Super Chats count for 2. Darrell Rivas signed photo. Sauce Gardner signed jersey. Keyshawn signed helmet. Al Toon signed helmet. And Kenny O signed jersey. Your top prizes in this week's raffle. Vinny is in the Asmaniac raffle for 1 with this. Appreciate it. Snowball wants to know, does 1 belly equal 2 feet? On Beast Breaker catches, it does. Yeah, absolutely. More of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us now on the Gustbuster hotline is a man who believes in achievement.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him One Punch Brigger. The moon landing was great. They call him One Punch Brigger. His claim is not true. They call him One Punch Brigger. He did justice like his ass. One Punch Brigger. Does it know they need done? Yeah.
Good morning, Jake. How are you today?
Dave Briga, how are you?
Good, I'm doing well. First call in since the end of Asmaniac Madness. Was a big withdrawal symptom there. So
yep, I agree. Do you like today's poll, Dave?
No, I'm not into a Bobby or Beast Breaker without shirts. That doesn't do any good to me. So
I see.
They need to get some nice shirts. That's what I think.
Nice little button-down shirt.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Maybe a sweater, a nice sweater.
Mm-hmm.
Vest. Beast Breaker with a vest, that'd be something, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Nice vest. If you could find one that fits, I don't know. But he's doing well. And I wish little Joey well. It's nice to see he has a pet up in the attic to keep him company. Oh, yeah. But anyway, all this draft speculation just gets you dizzy. Get you dizzy. I'm just hoping we can find a trade partner at 7 because I'm just worried about the possibility of drafting that Mason Graham and duplicating the position. I don't really think that's if he drops to us at 7, I just hope they don't pull the trigger there. What I do think is, I see, we see Glenn operating the way the Bill Parcells mold, and I think a lot of people are going to be maybe surprised at some trades coming down. They probably won't be happy. I think we might be surprised seeing some of those things happen because we already see it. He's forming his team in his own image,
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he trades like a noted veteran at some point during this draft. I don't think they're going to trade Brees, but We know that speculation's been out there. Quincy's in the last year of his deal. I don't think they trade him, but you never know. I mean, we'll see.
Oh, Jake, I could see it. I could see it happening. He wants players that he's going to be able to form in the Bill Parcells way. I just see it. I don't be surprised. I mean, it might not happen, but I can see it happening.
Maybe not after this year, but next year, once he gets a feel for the roster, who he thinks is his kind of player, then maybe you see some of that, to your point too.
But what do you think about drafting Graham at 7 if they draft him? I just don't see the fit, Jake. I don't see it. What's your opinion?
Yeah, my preference is not to take him over some of the other offensive players we've discussed. That said, it'd be tough to criticize them if they didn't, because most people consider him like a top 5 player in this draft, and we would have to just put a lot of faith in this coaching staff that they know how to utilize both him and Quinn next to each other.
I just don't think he's got the push enough,
Yeah.
I just don't think he's got the push. Not that he's, that because the beef doesn't make that much. It makes a difference, but not that much. But I don't see the duplication of the same position there. I mean, tight end and the offensive line, maybe. But I think the best way is if we can get somebody to come up to 7 and get some kind of value for that pick and move a few spots back, whatever, that'd be the best way. I mean, I know that's probably not going to happen, but hope maybe something will come of it. But I just wanted to check in before. I wish I was able to come to the drafts, but we have too many issues here with people that are sick, and so it's just. I'm hoping that the Tampa game works out, that we can. It's sort of the road game, that we can all get together, maybe in that game, or maybe a home game for myself.
I'm excited to see the schedule come out, Dave, and I'll tell you what. When Dave Brigga walks into a room, people are going to stand up and give you a standing ovation. It's going to be very exciting.
Well, it'd just be good to see everybody together, and that we could all get along. And maybe by that time, Gary will get some more information. I saw a great video about the building up of our space program. It would be great for him to maybe just to see it. I mean, you can't deny what we achieved there. I mean, it's just you got your head stuck up your rear end if you don't see it. I mean,
I don't know if you saw this, Dave, but I was walking the streets of New York the other day. Couldn't believe that this was a real, I guess, advertisement on one of those like bus stops that you see on the corner of one of New York's avenues. Like, this was incredible.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Did you send it to Gary?
I showed Gary. He didn't believe it, but I mean, look, right there in front of everyone, Brigham University, believing in achievement. It's there for everyone to see.
That's what we're built on, achievement. Our country was, going for greatness, which we should always be seeking. So show him that. Maybe someday he'll wake up. Who knows? Anything is possible. The only thing I know about him, he believes in Christ, so that's good. But other than that, I don't know.
Well, Dave, you have a great Easter.
Okay. God bless you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Dave Brigham.
He thinks that Charles and Bobby need to get a job. This cowboy hates to see us maniacs complain. What they call him, one-punch Brigham. You need to get a job. What they call him, one-punch Brigham. The beast is on his ass. Call him one-punch Brigham. Has anyone seen Bean Mac? Call him one-punch Brigham. You only need one.
Yeah, baby. Tremendous. Zach Johnson, are you there? Because you're up next on our show. Hello, Zach. Zach Johnson, are you there? Beast, wake him up.
Attention, Zach Johnson. Attention, Zach Johnson. Are you there? Sound the alarm, please.
Hold on, Beast. Let me sound the alarms. I don't think he's there.
Nothing. Nada. Zero. That's okay. That's all right. That Brigham University is great. And that sign that says it right there. Get a job, loser, if you can't do it.
Hey, this was Aaron Glenn to those who didn't want to attend Brigham University.
You get the out.
Simple. Makes sense. Nick Shine is with us now. Hello, Nick.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's going on? How are you? Happy Saturday.
Very good Saturday to you, my friend.
Yeah, man.
Started off this morning with a nice surprise. Met Tom Ace for coffee at 9:00. He had to come down my way to meet someone for a memorabilia exchange, and he got a very, very nice one today. He got a full-size helmet with Namath, and he signed it Joe Willie Namath on it. So it's really nice piece he picked up today. And getting ready now. We're going to be leaving here in a few minutes with the boy to go meet Alan and Charles for lunch.
I can't believe an Alan and Charles lunch is happening. Now, my question is, why is Alan in New Jersey?
His wife, her family is like 45 minutes like southwest of me. And he hit me up about 2 weeks ago and saying, I'll be there for the week if maybe we could try to meet lunch. And I was like, all right, let's do it.
Wow.
So
let us know if he's a fraud in person as well.
We're going to like a Miller's Ale House, and I was like, dude, it's a nice day. Want me to bring some cigars? He's like, yeah, I'll have one. So looking forward to the. Well, I did not have Alan as a cigar smoker. Completely caught me off guard. I'll be completely honest with you.
Me neither, man. Who could have imagined that?
I did not have that on my 2025 Jets fan bingo card.
Jets, Jets.
That's why Rodgers was a failure here. Alan put the jersey on. Damn it.
He cursed him.
Damn it. You know what I did in the playoffs when the Bills won? I was like, Josh Allen Avatal, we need you to jinx. You put your support behind the Bills. There's no way they're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, first he destroyed the Lions, then he destroyed the Bills.
Yes. Right. So I will always treasure Josh Allen Avatal for that week where he threw all his support to Buffalo. But yeah, man, it should be a fun afternoon, and I'll hit you up later and give you some stories, and maybe we can discuss it tomorrow.
M. Morris says, "Can Alan be on camera, or is he still hiding?"
I'll find out. How long are you going to be on? So we're meeting at 1:00. He's actually probably in the car now. Like as soon as I hang up here, I'm going to dart.
I might still, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't got a ton of people on hold right now. Could be a shorter. Could only be a 90-minute special.
Who are you?
I don't know. I'm tired.
What are you doing?
I got things to do today. I'm going to the Nick game later. I can't talk about the same draft stuff anymore. All right. We're running a poll right now on Beast Breaker versus Bobby's boobs. That's where we're at in the off season.
Sorry, I felt like that my comment generated that. I apologize, everybody.
No, it was a great comment. It was definitely something that. Find me the YouTube channel that's covering that. You know.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you get here when there's been 7,000 hours discussed about who we're going to draft at 7. I feel bad for the guys who are going to get drafted in round 2 because round 1 gets talked about probably since November, right, when we fired Douglas. And then it's like, all right, 9:30 on Thursday night. What are we going to do tomorrow? And now everyone's going to try to cram in that content for round 2 and 3, and then same for Saturday. But I'm looking forward to this week, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're doing a Shiner weekend. Myself, Knob, Jay Graves, Tom Ace. We rented a house down in Ocean City. So when Knob and I leave your party, we're dropping Graves and Charles back off in town here, and then we're heading down by Atlantic City. Myself and Knob, and then Tom and Graves are going to come down on Friday. Clancy and Nate might come down. It'll be a good little time, man. We called it like a boys' weekend plus Graves. Just draft hangout. You know what I mean? Sit there, watch football, talk about the draft, and just hang out all together. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a good week. I mean, this party on Thursday, I mean,
yeah,
it's a who's who of people that are going to be there, Nick. I'm very excited to see you.
It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. I've been working out to make sure I can get you up on the shoulders still. I know I'm getting older. I'm almost a year older. The last time you climbed Mount Nick and got on the shoulders, and we got to do that again, man.
Oh, it's going to be great. I can't wait. Well, you tell us how the lunch with Alan goes. Hopefully it doesn't go poorly. All right. And I'm excited for Gorman and Alan to interact. You got to let us know how that is.
Yeah. Gorman's always entertaining. So if you're still on, I'm sure I wouldn't even have to bring it up. The second Charles gets there, he'll just be walking around, and maybe you should end the show. This way you don't have to buy anyone lunch there. Yeah, so maybe it's best that you get off like before 1:00.
What am I on the hook for this one?
Yeah. Maybe a nice Miller's Ale House mountain melt where the zingers and the fries are all piled up together. Who knows?
Maybe that couple will be at the diner. Or will you say Miller's Ale House you're going?
Yeah. Yeah, it's in Woodbridge, right next to Metuchen. It's not far. But
I love it. Well, Nick,
it would be
all
great.
the love, and have a tremendous time with Alan and Charles Eugene M. Gorman.
Let me thank you in advance for buying my lunch for me today. You're the man, Jake. I appreciate you so much.
You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen,
Later,
Nick
bro.
Shine of the Nick Shine Show. I'm going to be hopping on with Nick tomorrow night, and that'll be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys subscribe to Nick's channel. All right, Super Chats cut the line. We don't have any. I can't speak. We don't have any. So let's get back to your calls. From one Nick to another, Nick Club is on the line. Hello, Nick.
What's up? What's up, Jake? How you
Nick
been?
Club. Who is this Nick Club? Oh, you're Nick T.
Yeah. Well, it's my wife and I, the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. We do the wrestling show together.
Oh, okay.
My wife's Nicole. I'm Nick, so it's the Nick Club. Yeah, Jake. I was waiting to. It was since Lunchgate. What was it, last month or whatever? I was waiting for you to offer a free lunch as one of your prizes on the show.
We'll do a free lunch at the draft party as one of the prizes. Are you coming to the draft party, Nick?
I cannot make it.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you can.
No, I am working that day, unfortunately. Yeah, life gets in the way of having fun, unfortunately. Work life gets in the way of having fun. But I know it's been a while since we spoke. Bonesy, congrats. I think couldn't have gone to a better guy winning the Asmaniac Madness tournament, so congrats on that end. Just draft stuff. I want offensive and defensive line. I like Membou at 7 if they stay there and take it. I think they're going to trade back. I think Glenn's got that, that Tannenbaum, Parcells traits where he likes to accrue picks and accumulate picks. So I think we'll probably end up trading back more than likely.
Who's coming up, though, is my thing. Like, I'm with you. I think they would like to trade back. I don't know if this is a draft where you're going to be able to actually do it.
Well, I think the scenario you presented was like a week ago with Shador. Like, yeah. I think that's the scenario that probably, whether it's New Orleans or one of these teams that's desperate for a quarterback, coming up and taking the quarterback there. And hopefully, I would love if they traded back, I don't know, mid teens and somehow got a first next year, like that, it would be golden for this team and this team's future. Because I think that's the plan, right? Is building up the offensive and defensive line. So for me, if they come away with Membou and a good defensive tackle prospect in the second round, that's a stud draft to me.
I understand that thought process, but they really need weapons. Like, they need to get a receiver or a tight end in here.
Yeah, but so agree. But my point is this: like the top tight ends in the NFL, like the top 10 or 15, most of them aren't first round picks, right? Like Travis Kelce was a mid round pick, Mark Andrews was a mid round pick. Like a lot of these guys, a lot of the top tier tight ends are taken in the mid rounds.
Right.
You're looking at a secondary target, so I don't want to use a premium pick on a tight end on a secondary position or a secondary weapon, right? Because
that, but pick 42 should be a receiver then. If we're going to take Membou at 7, who's catching passes besides Garrett Wilson that you actually trust or think could be any good right now?
Well, no, I mean, I agree. I think they're all 2s and 3s at best, but I
don't even think they have a 2. I think maybe Reynolds on a good team could be your 3, right? Maybe.
Right. Well, here's my point to that, right? Is that this team's going to be run first. So even in a perfect scenario, you get 50 offensive plays. So we're running the ball 30 times a game. And Garrett Wilson as a wide receiver 1's probably getting 10 to 15 targets. So how many passes are we looking to spread around of the other targets? And that's the point. You're looking for secondary people. So yeah, Josh Reynolds is not great. He is a tertiary receiver, if you want to call him that, right? At best. But if he's only getting 1 to 2 targets and he hauls them in, that's his role in the offense, in a run first offense. And that's what I'm expecting of this team.
Well, I'll tell you what, I understand your point, Nick Club, and I respect your point. But since you're not coming to the draft party, I don't have to like your point, if that makes sense.
That's fair. We don't have to agree, but it's all in love for the team. So Jake, pleasure as always. I'll see you next time.
Nick, I appreciate it. The only thing I'll say is, yes, they're going to be run-oriented, but you're still going to need weapons. You just are. Especially a tight end that could open things up over the middle. Even if they don't do it in round 1. Like Mason Taylor could be the pick in round 2 then, to play your point on value. They need weapons, man. They should invest in offense. Their defense has a lot of talent already on it. It was poorly coached last year. That's why they had the fall off. That and poor personnel decisions by Joe Douglas. They still have a defense that features an all-pro defensive tackle, an all-pro corner, a very good nickel, a very good ascending young linebacker, a former all-pro linebacker next to that ascending young linebacker they brought back. Jermaine's coming back. He was in the Pro Bowl 2 years ago. Will McDonald had 10 sacks. Like, there's players on that defense that if Steve Wilkes is a good defensive coach, which he's proven to be in his career, we know Aaron Glenn is a very good defensive coordinator. That's in part how he got the head coaching job in the first place. That is not a bad starting point for this team. Do they need to still address safety and DT? Absolutely. But right now, the offense has a gaping hole at right tackle and receiver and tight end. That's got to be the focus. Has to be. You're one injury to Garrett Wilson away from having nothing. Nothing, I tell you. Kyle Clifton says, need that Toon helmet. Kyle Clifton, you're in for 2. You want an Al Toon helmet or a Kenny O jersey? You got a shot. Can't wait to meet Kyle Clifton. He says, look for offensive tackle depth after. See you Thursday. He wants Warren, Jackson, Winston, Joshua, Farmer. Farmer, I watched Farmer the other day. I like Farmer. I can see why a lot of Jet fans like Farmer. There's some solid DTs in this draft class for what it's worth. I want Warren at 7. Can we just take our shot on a weapon? I don't know. I'm just so disenfranchised by the Jets right now. I get the Membou argument, but they have no weapons. Sean says nothing. What a slap in the face to the rest of the wide receiver room. Then prove me wrong, right? Alan Lazard's not good. All right? He's not. Josh Reynolds is a 3 or 4 on a good team. And he's a 3 on a team that has a really good tight end that would basically be ahead of him. He's not a 3 on a good team if your offense gets funneled through 3 receivers. Am I wrong? Malachi Corley showed us nothing last year. Xavier Gibson is what he is. Don't tell me about Tyler Johnson. I don't want to do the Rodgers stuff, but that was part of my argument to keep Rodgers for a year. You'd have Devontae and Garrett for another season. So no, they need a receiver. They need weapons or a tight end that could serve as their second best playmaker. Adam is on the line. He's next. Hello, Adam.
Hey. All right. I know we've talked a lot about draft picks and whatnot. I was curious, though, were there any, just a few, just a few big question about, it's not only draft picks that get traded on draft day. There have been trades where it also involves players. Were there any players that you think might get sort of cut loose or might be on the trade block, in some kind of trade down or trade package from other teams that you think would be a good fit for us here?
Other teams that would be a good fit for us in a trade package if the Jets are moving back?
No, I meant if there was a player instead of a pick.
Oh, that's a good question.
Or a pick exchange, right? Some kind of trade down, but in return we also get a player or something like that. If it was
Dallas Goedert, Mark Andrews, apparently he's on the block too. I'd look at the veteran tight end market.
And that's an interesting one, right? Because if we think that it's possible we can get an established veteran, even though they're older, even though they're probably going to be more expensive and they're going to be approaching free agency and they're hitting 30, it makes me feel better about going chalk with Membou if that's what we want to do. But I still think it's it's a deep tight end class. So it's a tricky one. And then there are some other players too out there that might be available. So it's like Quentin Johnston potentially, or rookies that didn't really pan out. We have a few of our own, frankly. We may trade some players away that day too. But it's good to remember that it's not always about pick trading. It's also player trading sometimes. And maybe there's some opportunities to fill some gaps where we, have a need.
Yeah. Look, I see what you're saying. I don't know what veterans are out there that would make sense that could get moved other than a couple of the tight ends.
Yeah.
Receiver wise, I'm trying to think who's out there. I mean, the Jets aren't going to trade for Tyreek Hill.
That'd be an interesting one, right? Imagine Pittsburgh comes and they say, we want 7 because we want to get Shedeur. I hate going hypothetical lately.
You think George Pickens is an Aaron Glenn type of player based on what we know?
What if that was in the package to go from 21 to 7? Would you take that instead of a pick?
No. Give me a pick. You got to pay Pickens.
Exactly. So it's interesting, right? So, but there are a lot of other interesting.
I'll sign a veteran after the draft. Amari Cooper is still out there. Keenan Allen is still out there.
Yeah.
I personally want Tyler Lockett to be signed. that to me would make way more sense than take less in your return in this hypothetical trade with Pittsburgh to add George Pickens. I'm good.
I mean, I wasn't floating that one as my top target. I think the tight ends are the interesting one, and then that really creates some scrutiny on, do we just go for Warren? Do we invest in that when we know that there could be some quality starters available for mid-round picks instead as a trade?
Correct.
So we'll see. But anyway, good catching up with you. Good luck with the game today at the Garden.
Adam, you are the man. You might look like Alan, but you're way better than Alan. You're a good humanitarian. Rick Ken is a good humanitarian. He is in the raffle for 5.
Jets, 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 Jets.
Look how painful it is for Alan to even try and do the Jet chant there in that video. I always come back to that. It's truly incredible. Rick Ken in the raffle for 5. Rick, thank you very much. Let's freaking go, baby. Yeah! The big fella has been gifted a membership. There we go. Jared's a member now. Dana Russell, BC, John LG, some heavy hitters. We're just gifted channel memberships there by Rick Kent. It is 5 memberships gifted, but for today, it is 7 raffle entries. Your last chance right now to win a signed Altoon helmet, a signed Kenny O jersey, a signed Keyshawn Johnson helmet, a signed Sauce jersey, and a signed Darrell Revis photo. Wait till you see our draft week raffle prizes. I think some of you Jet fans are going to be like, holy crap. All right. Home stretch of the show right now. Let's check in with Beast to make sure he's ready for it. Beast, how we feeling?
Not bad. I'm actually doing a little bit of research on the Facebook Marketplace. I'm looking for a few things.
What are you looking for? Let's see if we can help you find it.
Well, I'm looking for someone who created a MetLife Stadium kind of a thing. It's on my phone. It looks like something like this, but it has to have the MetLife logo in the center, and then the Giants and the Jets logo at the bottom. Jets at the top, Giants at the bottom. Something like that, but kind of hard. I mean, half the shit's hard to find. And
You want like a display piece of MetLife?
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! And then also, there's one more thing I would like to find, and it's one of these.
A guitar.
Yeah, but it's kind of I'm looking for. Not a Squire. I'm looking for either a Filophone, Ibanez, or ESP.
Yes.
And I'm talking the good stuff. And let me just say this to everybody. You all have a great Easter. And remember, if you all are Catholic, let's go. Let's all get to church. If you're all Christians, do the same thing. And remember, God loves you. We love you. And the New York Jets love us too. And remember, on Thursday night, let's go get those draft picks.
You get the fuck out.
Peace. Thank you very much. Lee, just buy an air conditioner. I'll show you guys. So this was given to me as a gift. I mean, it's like nice, but like you guys know, I can't stand MetLife Stadium. So this is my MetLife piece I have. I'll show you guys this. It's not even the Jets in the end zone, but you can't tell when you first look at it. But it's a MetLife display piece right here. And like it looks nice on like my man cave TV stand. But it's supposed to be for the Jets, right? But the end zone say Giants. But on the back it says Jets. But I'm annoyed. Because on the front, you can see it's a Giants end zone here. So if you want this piece, I'm sure I could find something similar for you. It's a display case of the world's largest air conditioning unit. There's nothing like it. It's amazing. And like I've been lucky to have been to some of like the newer stadiums in the league the last couple of years. Vegas, Dallas. I went to the Super Bowl the year that Atlanta hosted it against New England and the Rams. And like you see these stadiums And then you remember that the Jets and Giants spent $4 billion to put MetLife together. 2 New York franchises. And that's the best they could come up with. A dump. It's unreal. And it's not that like MetLife is like gross as far as like it's not clean, or it's just like it's just bland and AC generic looking. Rick says, don't forget Hotspur Stadium. That was nice. I was only counting United States stadiums, Rick. But yeah, if the Jets played at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, that'd be the sickest stadium ever. Scott says, if Rick Kent gets enough memberships, can we send Gibson to the hole? Xavier Gibson? Or is there someone named Gibson in the chat that I'm missing? Anyway. Last chance to get the membership to be in. Your membership is going to a good fund today. It's going to in honor of Beastbreaker, my Wendy's right after the show. Right, Beast? All right, here we go. Papa Jet is on the line. Hello, Papa Jet. Unmute your mic, Papa. Papa Jet, hit the mic button. There you go. There you go.
Got to give us old guys some time here.
You're good, Papa. We got you.
Okay. As far as the last few calls, I'd rather draft a tight end this year's draft than get somebody, Andrews or somebody like that that's already 30. And as far as what was the other thing? Oh, the wide receivers. We got to get a number 2 because we got to take the double team off Wilson. And what we got right now ain't going to do it. So we got to hopefully get lucky in the draft, or maybe final cut down day we can get somebody, but we definitely need a wide receiver too. But Jake, a few calls ago I misunderstood when you do the Jets meetup. I thought it was a home game, but you do a road game.
Yeah, I try to do a road game every year, and then I go to a lot of the home games, but last year for the first time we did a group buy for a Jet home game where we picked a Jet home game for people to buy tickets to all sit in the same section.
Okay, but how long you been doing the road game?
We started it in 2023. Our first one was Vegas. Last year was London. This year to be determined based on the schedule.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, me and my son, because we were going to go to MetLife, but then I called him. I said, why don't we just go to Pittsburgh? Because it's only like a 4-hour drive from me. Pittsburgh was a nice experience. Stadium, great stadium. And the people were great. The fans, they just care about their team. There was
no football. Yeah, they love football.
Yeah, and there was no meanness, I was going to do a joke with you. Are you ever going to do one with Buffalo?
No, I'll never go back to Buffalo. Worst experience ever going to a Jet Bills game in 2016. Never again.
Yeah, you know what? Me and the buddies from work, we go every year. And,
really?
Well, I'm from Buffalo, and sometimes it would be the Jets game, but I haven't been there probably 15.
You wear Jets gear when you go? They're brutal. They're ruthless.
No, I know. They're assholes. So, I mean, there's always bad fans in every stadium, but Buffalo.
This was extreme, though. I don't think Jet fans would have like we got harassed when we went. It was a Thursday night game. It was like beautiful weather, so people were just hammered. It was just, yeah, it was awful. Thank God the Jets won that game. Like that was the most satisfying win I've had in person. Like it was personal that night.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't been there in probably 15, 16 years because they're idiots. I've seen some just 4 or 5 guys wanting to beat up one guy because he's wearing a Miami hat or something. They're just, I don't know what it is. It's testosterone, the game of football, and alcohol, and they can't handle it. And plus, it don't help their tailgating 5 hours before the game.
Oh yeah.
But and that caller yesterday, NYDL, I think it was the lady. Man, what an awesome first call she did.
She was great. She'll be at the draft party, Papa Jet. I can't wait.
Yeah. I mean, her and Mimosa, if they start calling in every week, man, I could see her doing damage if she made the tournament, you know?
Oh, yeah. You feel it. You feel it. Next year's tournament is going to be insane. You can already feel the magic, and we still have a year to go.
Yeah, good luck with the committee trying to pick people, you know? But, Jake, last thing, too bad we couldn't do I don't know if there's a format out there, but like a draft contest. That would be kind of fun.
Like who has the most accurate first round? I can look into that.
That would be fun, and especially it'd be something not that you need another thing at the draft party, but it could add to some more ball busting going on there, you know?
We love a good ball busting session.
I know you do. So, but something to think about. So that's all I got, Jake. You have a good Saturday, my friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Papa Jet. Tom Ace has already called it mock madness. I like it. Someone said me I could look into it, but I'm pretty sure they do make websites where you could join like a mock draft pool where it's like everyone submits their pick and whoever has the most accurate first round mock wins. I love it. I want to thank everyone who tuned into the show. Fun 90 minutes with you guys here on a Saturday. I'm not saying I'm definitely not doing a show tomorrow, but it's not a guarantee. It's going to depend on the schedule. So stick around. Stay tuned for that. Join the Discord if you haven't. If you join the Patreon, by the way, and you sign up for the year, you now save 20%. And you get 10 raffle entries in our raffle. I do want to encourage everyone to buy their draft ticket if they haven't already. Have about 30 tickets left or so. It's going to be a great night. We got some awesome prizes we're giving away. If you're a Knicks fan like I am, Knicks Game 3 is scheduled that night. It will be on several of the TVs. We'll have the sound on for the Knicks before the draft starts. And then the sound will be on for the draft. So I think it's going to be awesome. It'll be a crazy night. And I can't wait. Happy Easter to everyone who celebrates. Once again, it's been a wild show, but a great show nonetheless. Thank you again to Gunny, who joined us earlier in the program. I will talk to you guys later, and I end the show with a message for everyone out there. And the message is simple. Jets. Jets, Jets, Jets.
You know what time it is?
Yeah.
Come on, everybody. Let's do some aerobics. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move that body up that floor. Right, left. Let's go. Come on. Pick that up. Let's get some arms going. Get some stretches going. Come on. 9, 10. Come on.
Whoa, at the buzzer here. Papa Jet with 5, which is actually 7. Papa Jet, you're the man. The show almost ended, but not before we say Johnny Boy, Ref Fan, 88.3, Michael Naro, and John and Alan has gonorrhea. All received channel memberships. Jets, Jets, Jets. Can you give us like a little boxing tutorial on the show?
So the jab, that's a 1. Right cross.
You think you take Beastbreaker?
I'm pretty sure I could beat Beastbreaker in a fight.
What gives you the confidence?
The physical appearance of Beastbreaker and having been in countless fights.
What do you mean the physical appearance?
He can't get out of bed.
That's not true. He definitely can get out of bed. He's up. Yeah.
That's training 101. Welcome to my class, Gary.
Hey, he did get out of bed. Good for you.
Get up, sunshine. I think it's called fear, son. I think it's called fear.
Yeah. Sit down before you have a heart attack, Beast.
That's scary enough to knock one out. Oh, look, you little fuck. I got something for you. Come on down. Who's next? Come on. Who wants a little?
He looks to be in great physical condition.
Yeah, baby.
That's my nurse over there. Say hi.
Where is she?
Brittany. She's a very nice lady. hooking me up to some antibiotics.
Whoa.
Freaky down.
No, she put it in my IV, knucklehead. Stop.
She put it in?
Calm your freaky down.
Don't listen to this.
You should ask her to wear one of those hospital gowns, where it opens up. Ask her to slip into one of those.
No, Robbie, you behave yourself. I'll see you soon.
Be well, Bobby.
We love you, Bobby. Get better soon.
Shout out. I hope that Bobby feels better. Mazel tov for him to get better.
Mazel tov for him to get better. Absolutely.
Shut up, Dave. I can't stand Santa Claus. Shut the fuck up, Santa Claus. You fucking eye. Oh, look at my eye. Oh, look at my eye.
You seem like you're in a good mood and ready to go for 20 more hours.
You're ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, you got one more call? You got enough for one more call? Look at Jake, he's laughing. I've been waiting in the back. You put that guy on. Who is he? You're ridiculous. Yeah. So how you doing, Robbie Sable?
Good. What's up, buddy?
No, goodbye, Bobby. See ya. Hey, Beast, you're up?
I hear you. You got to fix the internet up, man. We want to hear what you got to say, Well, don't worry. I got something to fix it. The very first part of the day. Holy shit. Oh, shit.